we were reading about the classification of life forms that are provided, and the 5 kingdom classification system that is provided by Robert H. Whittaker. We already have read about Monera. And do you remember the example in Monera? Bacteria. Right? Then you have read about this Monera. Very important feature of Monera is at the level of cell, prokaryotic. Right? They have prokaryotic cell, single cell. Then from Monera, the developed form or developed group is Protista. In Protista, what you read about Protista? What example you read? Amoeba. And what is very basic difference from prokaryotic? The cell has changed into eukaryotic. Right? The next group that we will be reading, this is the first group in first kingdom in 5 kingdom. This is second. Now the third one we will be reading, that is fungi. Fungi, and the singular of fungi is fungus. Generally we use this fungi because we use this word because it is very difficult to find a single fungus existing, right? So here what you see now, how the nature has improved its life forms while making. This fungi, first feature is they are unicellular, or note this point, unicellular or multicellular. Right? What? In Monera, uni only you have seen, unicellular. In Protista, unicellular. But now the improvement, multicellular. Clear? Second thing is, where will you find them? Right? So you will find them in air, water, soil, organic matter, and damp places. Do you know what is damp? After bathing, you wipe your body with the towel. Now if I ask you if the towel is wet, no, it's not wet, it's damp. Damp means that is having little of water, not enough water. When enough water, that will be wet. Damp means that is having little of moisture, little of water. Not enough water, but little water is present. So at damp places, you will find this fungi, right? Now, regarding their mode of nutrition, these are the only kind of life forms that are non-green. Non-green but fixed. But generally fixed like a plant. You see, plants, they remain fixed at one place. They don't go from one place to another. So these are the only kind of life forms that are fixed at one place, and they can't go from one place to place, but are non-green. When non-green means they cannot make their own food, so hence the mode of nutrition, what will be the mode of nutrition? Heterotrophic. Hetera meaning others, trophic means nourishment. So they obtain their nourishment or they get their food from some other life forms, right? So in heterotrophic, their mode may be parasitic. They may be in parasitic mode or saprotrophic. Parasitic means they live on the body or inside the body of a living being, and they have their nourishment. They get their food from there. Oh, saprotropic. Sapro meaning to decompose. Decompose. Compose means to bring so many things together and make one thing. That is composing. Right? Decomposing is just splitting a whole into its bits, into its parts. What all things have made a particular thing that is broken into its part, that is called sapro. Sapro means to decompose, to break. Right? The complex organic material. Organic material is the part of a living being. Right? Maybe plant or maybe an animal. You may have seen piece of chapati. If thrown these days in rainy season, after few days you will see on its surface a white cottony appearance develop. Right? Hair-like structures develop. For the first few days it is white, next it turns grey, and ultimately it turns black in few days. When you purchase the bread in the morning, some of the breads that come packed inside the bread on the slices, you see some bluish colored fungal appearance is there. Right? So these fungi, they are heterotrophic in the mode of nutrition, and this heterotrophic parasitic means on the body of the other plants or animals. Saprotropic means on the dead or decaying organic matter. Right? And they can grow at any places. Another important aspect about this fungi is they may resist extremes of temperatures sometimes. Can resist extremes of temperatures. They can resist extremes of temperatures. Right? The only unicellular fungi that is present is yeast. Yeast is unicellular. Yeast is unicellular, and others are multicellular. When these multicellular fungi, their cells, they rest on one above the other, and thus they form, this is one cell, first cell, this is second cell, or reverse you can go, this one is first cell, second, third, fourth, fifth. So you see just one above the other, so they develop a hair-like structure, a thread-like structure. You see, this becomes a long vertical thread-like structure. Thread-like structure, right? And this thread-like structure is called mycelium. No, it's called hypha. Hypha. And plural is, just write E, hyphae. Right? And this way, this is one column of the cells. Along with this one column, one more column will be there. Right? And again one more column will be there. So this way, a bunch of hyphae, they make a bunch of hyphae. Right? And this bunch, 1, 2, 3, 4 together. What 4 together? What is that 4? 4 hyphae together. They make this, what do you call this combined structure? This whole structure? Mycelium. And this mycelium helps them, suppose this is the substratum or the base where they are existing. When you see, normally this will appear like a hair-like structure on this, and this one mycelium, this is mycelium, is having, when you study with the help of magnifying of tools, you will see this type of hyphae, means cells are arranged one above the other in column. So this mycelium helps them to fix into the substratum like a plant. this appears like the stem of a plant, right? And at the top they have a balloon like structure, right? And in this balloon like structure, this is called sporangiophore. This sporangiophore bears the spore. You know, we have the fruits, they have the seeds. Do you remember? Huh? Oh. I'll draw one apple, right? One apple I will draw. In apple you see you have the seeds here. This seed. And this is what you call fruit. Right? Similarly, this sporangiophore is a fruiting body. It is like a fruit, and that bears seed-like structures called the spores in it. This is the whole of the fungus, right? So about the fungus, what I told you, that they are unicellular or multicellular. Their cells are eukaryotic. Now onwards, from protist onwards, the cells are eukaryotic. So that is common thing. I will not be mentioning further. So you must know only these Monera have prokaryotic cell. Rest all above this Protista, fungi, then Plantae, then Animalia. All remaining kingdom included the life forms that have eukaryotic cell. So fungi, they are unicellular or multicellular. They are found in air, water, soil, organic matter, or damp places. Only kind of life forms that are non-green but generally fixed. They remain fixed like a plant. But so in the beginning, because they were fixed, they were confused. The scholars were confused whether to keep them in plants or animals. They are fixed at one place, feature of plants, but non-green, feature of animal. They are confused. That's why Robert H. Whittaker, he proposed this separate group, separate kingdom, that is fungi, right? So because of this aspect, we have to, Robert H. Whittaker was compelled to develop this third kind of kingdom, the third kingdom, that is fungi. What is that feature? That they were life forms that were non-green. Non-green, when we say, that is feature of animal. Fixed at one place, feature of plant. Where to keep them, whether in animal or plant kingdom? Confusion, dispute. So what happened? Robert H. Whittaker has suggested fungi. So we have Monera, Protista, and fungi. This is the third kingdom of the life forms on this earth in the 5 kingdom classification system, right? And very common example we will be reading. You see, you are consuming that mushrooms. Mushrooms are the example of fungi, right? And you should be very careful about the mushrooms. You must know that the mushroom that you are going to eat is edible, can be eaten, be sure, because some of the mushrooms, they are so poisonous that immediately after eating, the person will not be there to tell the taste. They are so killers, fatal. So don't consume any mushroom coming across you. If you have good knowledge about the mushroom, you are sure that they are edible, then only. Another aspect of the mushroom I have told you in the beginning, by discussing at the time of the beginning of this lesson, that some of the mushrooms are very costly. For 1 kilogram, they may cost lakhs of rupees, 2 lakhs rupees for 1 kilogram, 3 lakhs rupees for 1 kilogram. So they are very costly also. So these mushrooms, these fungi are very helpful in the civilization of mankind civilization. About their benefits we will be reading it later on. But at present, you must know these features regarding fungi. They are unicellular or multicellular. They can be found in air, water, soil, organic matter, and damp places. The only kind of life form that are non-green but fixed They are heterotrophic in the mode of nutrition, that is depend on other life forms for their food. So parasitic or saprotrophic. Parasitic means they take their food or nourishment from some other life forms and cause them harm. That is parasitic relationship. Saprotrophic means they decompose, that is leaves, the bits of flesh, bits of food, leather, organic material, and they get their nourishment. They can resist extremes of temperature, and one example of unicellular fungus is yeast. Yeast also they remain like this, right? So these are the common features or aspects that we have to read about the fungus. And in this very common example, that is rhizopus, we will be reading about rhizopus, right? Rhizopus we will be reading, right? These are very cottony hair-like appearance developing on the food bits that are thrown during the rainy season and absorb moisture, right? So about the rhizopus I will be telling you, or you just see. This is also called as bread mold. So in the next video I will discuss about the rhizopus or bread mold. Thank you.